Welcome to Crafting with Erica. On today's episode, we are going to make a DIY scarecrow because you know it's the peak of fall right now, or at least it feels like fall outside. For this project, you're going to need a lot of crafting materials. But before we get there, I just want to thank you all for joining in. And if you haven't seen my previous videos, go back. Look at some of my previous videos. And let's get started. So, for this project, you're going to need some clay pots. You can use whatever size clay pot you want. I am using teeny tiny ones because I want to make a teeny tiny scarecrow. You're going to need some ribbon, some fall looking ribbon. I'm using a burlappy looking one, a plaid one, another burlappy looking one, and you are definitely going to need one that is a twine. Some straw, googly eyes, because every crafting project you need some googly eyes. Sharpie markers. This one's a basic black Sharpie, and this one is one of the paint Sharpies, white. Some scissors. I told you you're going to need a lot of stuff on this project. You're going to need a hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, and some orange paint, and a paintbrush. And of course, something to paint on top of. So we're going to get started on the thing that's going to be the most time-consuming portion of the project first. But before all of that, to get this type of crafting material, you can get this kind of stuff at Michael's. You can also get it on Amazon. We have included links below so that you can just dump it all in your cart and get started on your project. First thing you're going to want to do is we're going to make the head and the body of the scarecrow. So this is going to be our head and this is going to be our body. And they're going to essentially get stacked just like so. But because they're going to get stacked, you're not going to need to paint the bottoms. So you don't need to paint the bottoms because they're going to get stacked. And you're also not going to need to paint the bottom rim of one of them. Or the inside, because no one's going to see the inside. No one saw that? I have my orange paintbrush. I just said to have something down so that you don't make a mess. And look at me, I didn't even pull it to the middle of the table so that I don't make a mess. And I'm a messy person when it comes to crafts. You can ask my husband. I'm real messy.
And eating spaghetti.
And eating spaghetti. So you're going to take this. I'm starting with this portion first so that this has time to dry before I get to everything else. I'm going to start painting. Just going to paint around it. It doesn't have to be a really thick layer. It's however thick you want it to be. And this is just basic acrylic paint. This isn't anything fancy. I try not to use fancy paints so that it is relatable to everybody and is cheap and easy to find. I'm being as neat as I possibly can, but I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to have orange paint on my hands by the end of this. Next thing we're going to do while we're waiting is we're going to make a face. This is going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to take my burlap, and the burlap is going to essentially get wrapped around one of these pots. So I'm just going to take a healthy amount off. A good amount of burlap. So I want to first put on my googly eyes towards the end. Because then I'm going to put a little smiley face below it. I'm using hot glue so that it dries a little quicker than if I were to use a tacky glue. And I want to make sure that these actually stay together. If you're a kid, I suggest you have your parent close by because you don't want to burn yourself. There goes some googly eyes. I'm going to take my black Sharpie and I'm going to carefully draw a mouth below it. I think I'm going to put a little orange dot in the middle for the nose. I think that's going to look really cute. Yeah, that looks really cute. The little orange dot. And I think these are now ready. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip one of these people over. Just gonna flip him. He is gonna be our bottom. I'm gonna take a little bunch of hay or straw, and once the body's flipped over just like so, I'm gonna take some of this hay and plop it on the body portion of the Scarecrow. So, put some glue, and I'm going to stick some hay here. Be careful, because this is hot. Try not to touch the glue directly. We have some hay. Now, at this point, we're going to make the arms. So cut one long arm, because you know you got a big old spaghetti arm. And you're going to make two arms. And you're just going to glue them down here. So, directly on top of the hay. Do the same thing for the other side. Hold it down. Now we are going to take our head, and our head is ginormous, and we're going to place our head directly on top. I'm going to take the bottom of this one, and I'm going to put some glue in it. And let's hold it down for just a little. The rest of this is going to be used for the inside of the head. This is all going to be its hair. I'm just going to take, though, before I do that, I'm just going to take some of my burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to put some inside so that it has something to sit on top of. Put a little glue in the bottom, and just put some burlap in the inside. Or anything you want. You could do cotton ball or whatever, or a ton of hay. I do not have a ton of hay, obviously. You are going to get a nice cluster, shove it inside. Next step, we're almost to the end. So we're going to take the very end of this, put a little bit of glue on it, and we're going to start wrapping. Make sure that your face is face up, and we're going to start wrapping it around town.
Bring it around town. Bring it around town.
If your face still isn't centered once you get all the way around, that's fine. You just cut your burlap. The reason I'm doing this is so that the burlap is just a hair more opaque and you don't see the orange through it. Now I have my face. I'm going to face it towards me so that I can actually make sure that my face is centered. This Scarecrow is so funny looking. He's so ridiculous in his own little way. Okay. we have our Scarecrow. So, a Scarecrow needs some type of patchwork, so he's gonna need some patching. Should I wrap it around so he looks like he's wearing a shirt? I think I am. He is a sophisticated Scarecrow. He's gonna get a plaid shirt. He has a hard day of work out there on the fields, protecting it. I just think he deserves a shirt. So I'm gonna start wrapping this. My husband's over there laughing at him.
Looks like me if I was a scarecrow.
Don't laugh at him.
Back in my boy band hair days,
He has feelings.
when I had frosted tips.
He has feelings. Don't laugh at him. I think I'm going to use this one to make a little bit of patchworking. A little bit of some patches, because you know, scarecrows usually have a few patches on them. So I'm going to cut a couple little squares. Put the little squares on his plaid shirt. Just going to take this and make a couple buttons on his front, because he's wearing a button-down shirt. Maybe like 2. 3. So ridiculous looking. Yep, he's ridiculous looking. Next step, we are going to make some legs. I'm going to tie a little knot at the bottom of the legs to represent feet. They're his feet, his little feety. And he's going to get legs. So the legs are just going to hang out from here. So I'm going to plop them down for a second. Some glue here, and I'm going to place that inside. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I did originally get out white paint. I didn't end up using it. But I thought that may have been just a hair too crafty for me. And remember, I had said that my arms were misaligned? Now's the time to trim his arm. Give him a little bit of a haircut. Some of these rounded sections cut. And look at our Scarecrow. He is adorable. Or she, or them, they. Adorable. This is the back of it. Same idea. Got some patchwork, got a plaid, and his hair. And we have a Scarecrow. I hope you enjoyed doing this. Let me know how you decide to decorate your Scarecrow, and thank you. Leave a comment below of any other type of crafting fall things you'd like me to do, or it doesn't have to be fall. Could be winter. You might be thinking ahead. I know Michael's are. They already have stuff for Christmas in their shop. And thank you. Bye.